Hey, AP Euro, it is week 5. I hope that you guys had a great spring break. And this is just a little update for you about what's going on now that school has let out for the year. And also what's going on with your AP test. I have some information about that. I'm going to try to make you a video every Monday so that you can get any updates that you need to for the week. And so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into our first order of business today is that grades are final as of March 12th, unless you would like to do some of the bonus that I'm going to be putting out with our weekly lesson plans. Okay. Some of those bonuses, like DBQs, are really going to help you for the AP exam. So I really hope that you will take advantage of that. I'm going to give you feedback on those. And this is going to become a theme for the next couple of weeks. A little review is better than none at all. So even if you get overwhelmed with how much there is that I'm putting out there and you're like, I can't do all of it, do at least a little bit of it. Do something so that you get a little bit of bonus. All the bonuses are going to be due by May 18th. So if you can't work on it daily, maybe work on it every couple of days, do a couple of items on there. I'm going to be giving you some practice DBQs and some pieces of DBQs to do. Which I think are going to help you with your AP test. And yeah, so we'll just jump into what they've told me about the AP test, and that's what's on your screen here. Okay, I've got this PowerPoint located down below, so if you don't want to listen to me talk, that's fine, but I'm going to give you some extra information on it as well. Okay, so this information that you're seeing is when the AP test will be for you. The AP European History test has been moved a week. It's going to be on Wednesday, May 13th, and it's going to be at 4 o'clock. It's going to be a 45-minute test to an hour. So you need to make sure that you have a quiet place, that you have internet access. If you don't have internet access that's stable or you're worried about that, you need to contact Miss Easterwood, Stephanie Easterwood at East Coweta High, and she'll help you come up with a situation where you can be in a quiet place, still social distancing, but where you can take the test. Also, you'll see that on this, it says that to access the test, you're going to need to have a link from Miss Easterwood. She's going to send you that link by email closer to the test. And if you open that link, you will have basically agreed that you are taking the test. So if you're choosing not to take the test, which I hope all of you will, but if you're choosing not to take the test this year, you wouldn't open that link and you would just let Miss Easterwood know that you chose not to take the test. Refunds for the test can be given, but they won't be given until probably we get back to school next year because we don't have the funds right now, the treasurer of the school to give the money. So we're going to have to wait on that. But I really, really think that you should take this test. We've been in this class for a year and a half of a semester, a semester and a half, which is a semester longer than most AP Euro students have been in European history. Most AP Euro students around the nation have only been in this class for 8 or 9 weeks before they went out for coronavirus. Most students in the nation haven't even written a DBQ yet, and you've written several. And on top of that, you've done pieces of DBQs throughout the semester. Anytime we looked at a document and we talked about their point of view, anytime we talked about context, anytime we talked about counter arguments, that's all DBQ stuff. So you're good on the skills. We're going to, of course, practice them. But I really feel confident with our class, and I think that this is going to be a good opportunity for you to shine. Okay, so the next thing on here, so it is a take-home test. It is a 45-minute DBQ. There is no multiple choice. You could look those up online. You can easily cheat with those. Not that any of you would. I know you wouldn't. But some students will. So there's no multiple choice. There's no short answer. There's no long essay. It's just the DBQ essay. And they've modified it. Instead of having about an hour, they give you 45 minutes. That's going to be the problem. We're going to have to figure that out. They give you 45 minutes and they're giving you 5 documents instead of 7. So it's very doable. You know all the pieces that you need. It is also an open notes test, which means that you can have your easy breezy DBQ, worksheet with you. You can have the rubric out in front of you. You can have a couple of charts of information about the different time periods. Here's what I suggest you not do. I suggest you not have a ton of notes out in front of you. That will just confuse you and waste your time. The students in our class who are not going to do well on this are students who are going to try to look up information during the test because you're going to run out of time, okay? Your goal with this is to get as many points as possible in 45 minutes. So you should not be looking anything up online. The great thing about a DBQ is that as long as you know the skills, you really don't have to look anything up online. So that's good. So the entire test is a DBQ. It's made so that you could take it on your phone or your iPad. But here's the thing, you have these Chromebooks and they're set up for things like this. So I really suggest you have your Chromebook charged. If you need an extra Chromebook, contact me. I've got a couple extra with chargers. They're the old kind though, but they'll work. Or contact Miss Easterwood and she'll help you out as well. But I really suggest you do this on Chromebook. Whatever computer you open up the test on is the computer that you have to submit the test on, okay? They will let you handwrite the test, but I think that if you're a fairly fast typer, it's probably best that you type your answer because trying to upload a picture of your written essay, with all the glare and what if it doesn't upload in the amount of time you need it to, that could be a problem. Okay, because you're getting a link to take this test, you're going to need to be able to log into collegeboard.com, the AP classroom site, like we've been using in class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on some of your lesson days, give you the opportunity to practice some DBQs that are on there. But you need to make sure that you can log in very easily. So I would write down my login. Now is the time, like this week, to contact the College Board if you're having trouble logging in. And they can get you set up. I know Lindsay Lyle, you had a problem logging in like a couple months ago, and you were able to call them. They got you all set up. It was really easy. So if you have any problems with that, now's the time to do it before they get inundated with all the AP kids not being able to log in the week of the test. If it's the day of the test, I bet you they won't even answer you because they're going to feel like you should have already done this. So make sure you've saved your login. There's a little link on this slide right here. You've saved your login and you know how to get there. So here's some more information. It's a shortened DBQ and you're going to be given 45 minutes to write it, like we've said. And the topics are only going to cover up to 1914. And I don't know if it's going to be one like small topic, the Protestant Reformation, or if it's going to be about women throughout European history in different time periods. My guess is there's going to be kind of a continuation of time periods throughout this, but I don't know. I have no idea. So the test is going to cover units 1 through 7. And if you want to make sure you know what's in those units, just to kind of review through them, there's a link there to the College Board, which will take you there and show you what those units are. It stops at World War I. So you don't have anything about World War I or beyond on your test. I'm guessing that they're not going to do anything past 1850 just to be safe. I'm guessing this is going to be an Enlightenment, scientific revolution, Renaissance time period. It's going to be the earlier part, maybe Napoleon, maybe the French Revolution. I don't know. That's my guess. But just be prepared for anything, anything before World War I. And my dog just jumped up on the table. This is Daisy. She's a mutt. Okay. No, don't kiss me. Okay. So what does this actually mean for you? Oh, no, we already did that one. So here's the thing. What can you use? So I said it's open notes. You can basically have anything in front of you that you want to use as far as resources, but you don't want to have too much because you're not going to really be using much of it. Maybe you'll use something about the centuries or the era for context. Maybe having a chart of the smart guys or some writers and thinkers and art would be good for you. I have put some of those charts on Google Classroom in the lesson plans, and it actually tells you what to print out, what I think will be the most beneficial for you. But other than that, I don't think you need your packets. I don't think you need your vocab. You're not going to have time to look all that up, and you've got a lot of it right here. So maybe your timelines that you've created, but other than that, I wouldn't have a whole lot of papers that you're going to have to sift through. You should print out the new Easy Breezy DBQ outline. I have updated it. I've highlighted pieces in it to make it real easy for you to find. I've updated the changes to this test and the rubric. There's also a rubric that you can print out. It's a Tom Ritchie rubric, but it's a new version of it, just to remind you of all the things that you have to do for the test. There will be some protocols that College Board is putting together to make sure that people are not cheating. I don't know what those are, but I'm imagining it's something like what they do in college with Turnitin. It's a program where they can tell if you have copied things off of the internet or copied things from one essay to another. So that said, be very careful about your phrasing that you use. If you're using my Easy Breezy DBQ, so are 30 other students in this class. So you need to make sure that the phrasing that you use is not going to be so repetitive of what I say in the Easy Breezy that that it gets flagged for copying from somebody when you're obviously not. So that's important. Don't think that you can get away with sitting with your friend and taking the test together and talking about it. You won't be able to do that. You will. I mean, you shouldn't anyway because you're quarantining, but you probably will not be able to get away with any type of working together. Okay. All right. So the prompt, I don't know what it's going to say, but a lot of them say analyze, whether it's this or that, or something to what extent is it this and not that. So those are the kind of questions, and you're used to those. We'll practice a lot of them. There's the new DBQ rubric link at the bottom that you can click on and print that out for yourself. Okay. A couple of things that are different about this DBQ rubric is that instead of having 7 documents, you need to use 4 out of 5. So either use 4 or 5, so most of the documents. You also need to have at least 2 good points of view in there. Instead of 3, you need 2. And remember, I've got sentence starters on your Easy Breezy to help you out with starting with that. You need to use 2 pieces of outside evidence. That's different. Usually you need just 1 piece of outside evidence. Now you need 2. That could be a thinker who goes along with these ideas, or maybe a thinker who's a counter argument, and his book is a counter argument to these. You could use it in your conclusion. It could be something from your vocab that you've learned about. And let me pause this and I'll come right back in a second. Back. What was I saying? Okay, so 2 pieces of outside evidence. That's probably where a chart of the smart guys or of art or of famous documents or writers or something like that, philosophers, is going to help you out. So 2 pieces of evidence. And then everything else is the same as what we've been practicing. You need a paragraph of context. We're going to practice those again before you take this test. You need a paragraph with a counter argument or a way of looking at it in a different way. So these are all, let's see, is this the new rubric? Okay. A word of caution, and this is the big thing, is that I think your biggest problem is not going to be that you don't know what to write. I think you're going to be fine with knowing what to write, and I think you're going to get the points that you write. I think your biggest problem is going to be the 45 minutes. Most of you need about an hour and a half to write a good DBQ. And this one is shorter, but you're going to be in a different situation. And you're going to be typing it most likely, and it's going to be on the computer, and you're not going to be able to circle things like usual. I think the 45 minutes is going to be rough, okay? So that's why we're going to practice a couple of these. And I need you to time yourself at home. And go ahead and turn in whatever it is that you have at 45 minutes done, because that way I'll grade it. I'll let you know what points you would have gotten. Most likely, you're not going to be able to get the full 10 rubric points that they allow for on this test. I don't think anyone, I would have a hard time getting that and writing it well in 45 minutes. But I think that you can get a good number of points. And I think that's what we need to be working towards. As always, the extra evidence, those extra points, those 2 pieces of extra evidence that you can use in your essay, if it comes to your mind, then put